just a little red dot swimming in a sea of stars. Got the whole damn verse spinning around you with open arms. It's a race against time that plunges you deep into the black. What are you gonna do when the void stares back? You'll never stop the revolution. Time to begin your evolution. Take a leap of faith. You gotta break the illusion. You gotta make your own solution. Take a leap of faith. The future's just a void, jump away.
Greetings, one and all. Hello. Welcome to once more to Channel Other Doc. I am Jim. I use he/him pronouns, and this is our Dark Matter campaign, Ghosts of Saltmaw. Thank you for those of you who care to join us here on this holiest of days in the United States, the Feast of the Superb Owl. We will be celebrating by throwing objects around in space, probably. So let's see, for this campaign, how do I do this again? Oh yes, I am playing Cole Hayden, Human Gunslinger, and we're going to go around and say hi to everybody, see who they are and who they're playing, starting with Anino. Hello.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Anino. I use he/him pronouns, as does my character, Rekmara, the Aviara druid, who is very focused on the study of evolution.
Yes. we're kind of, it's a rather applied study. It's slightly it seems as though there's rather a lot going on with it. And let us head over to Cazimi. Hello.
Hi all, I'm Cazimi. I play Climbswell Nunu Fritz Holds Bottom Thunderstruck, the space gnome who is not excited about evolution, nor particularly about the grumpy Aviara.
Well, it's the thing is he himself has been evolving to be somewhat less grumpy, and that's the frightening part.
Maybe less grumpy and more threatening. I'm not quite sure.
It's hard to say. But you know, it's a good threat, delight. It's there's a fine line in there somewhere. It's hard to say. And then different species do effervescence different ways. That's all I'm saying. But now let us head over to May. Hello.
Hi everyone, my name is May. I play Latinus Chain Tower, the Star Dwarf Paladin. We both use she/her pronouns. Happy Superb Owl Day.
Yay. Happy Superb Owl Day. And this is probably not the symbol for that, but this is the butterfly symbol, I think. I don't know. Hi. Anyway, let's go over to... Yes, that's right, the owl. This is more Junior Birdmen, but that's, you know, one can adapt. It is more owl-like. That's owl. That's right. This was owl. Okay. I remember my mummichomps. Good. Okay. Now that that's been cleared up, hi, Mem.
Hello, I'm Mem. I will be playing Narita Galeen, the Nautilid Witch, and we both use she/her pronouns.
Excellent. And now we shall be throwing things over to our illustrious, can I say illustrious? Probably. To our awesome station master, Alyssa. Hello.
Hi. I am excited to be back. My name is Alyssa. My pronouns are she/her, and I play everybody else. So with most games on this channel, we'll be using safety tools such as the X card, the N card, and the O card. So if at any point we cross into territory that is not okay for anybody, they can simply type an X into my Zoom chat and we stop, rewind, add a dash of retcon, and it never happened. If we're kind of towing the line and it's okay to have the subject in the game, but you don't want a graphic description, that's where the N comes into play. And if you're getting really into the role play, putting on an Oscar-worthy performance, and you just want to let everybody know that it's okay to keep pouring on the drama, that's where the O comes in. And if you want to check in with anybody at any point and make sure you haven't gone a little too far, you can type an O with a question mark and we'll all respond as needed. Now, with that being out of the way, previously on Ghosts of Saltmaw, having tracked the distress beacon to Witchbolt Island on Ionaria 8, the party began their sweep of the weather station-turned monastery. Rekmara found a diamond-studded icon of the Stormlord in the chaplain's quarters on the second floor, along with a set of keys, a ring of spacewalking, and a helm of underwater action, which he proceeded to wear. Lasnus' teasing about it's not matching the rest of his outfit did not matter.
Didn't.
Meanwhile, on the ground floor, Fritz began repairing the elevator, while Narita and Cole examined the blaster scoring on the walls and drag marks on the floor, determining that a shootout had taken place within the last few days. They also found more recent footprints, which seemed to suggest that someone may have survived the firefight. And then they joined Lasnus and Rekmara upstairs, proceeding toward the comm tower. On their way up, they found a stash of underwater exploration equipment in the late Chief Science Officer's quarters, along with a data pad containing Oloran Arceus's personal logs and the coordinates of the pirates' shipwreck. They also found a very old, very powerful magic weapon, which turned out to be not only the original Glimmerrod blaster prototype, but also inhabited by the spirit of Metzer Glimmerrod's daughter Vantha, whose father had bound her soul to his prototype in order to save her from a mysterious terminal illness. Finally, they reached the top of the count tower, where they found a tabaxi woman perched atop the ether radio performing repairs and monitoring transmissions. She introduced herself to the party as Aharona Bread and Butter Abram, and showed them down to the panic room beneath the kitchen where the rest of the survivors awaited rescue. Among their number was a badly injured Nautilid, a slightly less injured Star Dwarf, an insectoid Scarathia Spacer, and an Avia Ra priestess, who appeared to have been examining an intricate 6-inch metallic puzzle cube made of innumerable layers and gears, circuits, and technological ephemera. And that is where we pick up now.
Has anyone here ever heard the Star Dwarf tale of Salisander the Pretty Good and the trial of the Gordian Circuit Breaker?
No, but I have the sinking feeling that you're going to tell us this tale.
Are you clairvoyant? No, your name's Avi Roth. Never mind.
He snaps it in half. Let's skip to the end. What's the point?
Point is, why don't we just do that here?
What are we snapping in half?
Can we snap in half back and figure out what she's talking about? Muted.
Tell her to snap it in half.
You want me to?
You're the one who had the brilliant idea.
Okay.
I feel like saying it was brilliant is overstating it.
Rekmara, before you allow Lasnus to snap the puzzle cube in half, I feel you may be interested to know that your obelisk sense is tingling.
Can I focus on that sense and determine where it's sitting?
Yes. It is coming from within that puzzle cube.
Okay. Rakmara just holds his hands up and just says, okay, new plan. May I see this puzzle cube, please?
The Aviara priestess, having looked up in kind of bewilderment at the party that her traveling companion has ushered through the panic room doors, she stands up and pulls her hood back. She has a humanoid body, but with the face of an owl, with fluffy ear tufts and amber-colored eyes, and like kind of orangey brown feathers.
Who?
And she sort of looks at Rakmara. I wasn't sure if you'd come.
Well, if it wasn't for that puzzle box, I probably would not have.
We could still break it.
Would you mind introducing us, please, Rakmara?
No. The puzzle box, please.
She hands it over. Are you going to introduce me to your new friends?
I feel like friends is a bit of a misnomer.
Buddies is probably the right word. You have some injured people. Is everyone okay?
Yeah.
They're injured.
Yeah.
Not really, no.
Our healer here is probably now too preoccupied with this cube that you have given him, but perhaps he can take a moment to look over your injured comrades. Perhaps. Hope you have money.
It's unlikely that he will. But
That depends. What
I mean,
kind of
there might be
insurance
some-
coverage do you have?
Oh my goodness.
yeah, don't listen to him.
Points of ID.
I forgot.
Does your insurance cover the Aviar Raw plan?
Well, it ought to.
Very exclusive
throws up their
mercenary
hands and-
Aviar Raw
and-
plan.
But I don't
Goes out of the
know.
room and heads back out to something that's broken to go fix it. Fritz has had enough of dealing with the HMOs around here.
Well, actually, Lastness does have lay on hands. She'll go over to the person who's most injured first.
Okay.
Narita also has some of the healing potions and some syringes because she's been burned by the Rekmara plan.
Whatever. Rekmara is just going to wave his hands and cast his healing spirit and
Okay.
just gesture. Go sit around that mushroom for a little while.
Handing out
Alright.
shrooms. Novel.
Narita just transfers 300 credits to Rekmara, so this won't come up again later on.
Well, you're not injured.
I've got a better health insurance plan now. We're fine. I learned my lesson.
Anyhow, while the dancing myconid spirit is working its healing gyrations, Rekmara is going to examine the puzzle box a little bit more closely.
Okay. You examine the puzzle box. It is constructed of several different materials, including circuits made of the obelisk same type of material as the obelisk shards you've been collecting, and also the strange alloys said to be found on not only on Maw stations across the galaxy, but within the heart of the Sepulchre star itself.
Ooh. All right. Are there any moving pieces on it?
There are. And it's a very complex and intricate mechanical device. It will probably take you a while to figure out how to unlock various layers. But you are just turning it over in your hands. You are able to kind of sense its connection to the obelisk and to other shards, and also to start moving the various pieces and shifting it around to see what it does.
So is it just a puzzle box? Is it a construct at all?
It is not just a puzzle box. It is a if you want to make like an Arcana or History check, you can go ahead and roll and see what you can figure out about it. And since you are attuned to a couple of other shards, I will let you roll with advantage.
First roll is a 12. Second roll is a 17.
Okay. So as you begin examining it, it is a magical item, and you kind of feel that attunement begin to form, much as when you were studying the obelisk shards. And you get the sense that it is a very old, very ancient artifact. And you may have heard stories about a device called a codex, which is said to be a means of unlocking the doors of the universe.
Oh, is that all?
As you begin to attempt to solve a part of this puzzle box, you get the sense that when you do get one layer unlocked, it will trigger some sort of magical effect.
Oh, well, okay. Rekmar is just going to look up and look around a bit. I'm going to need some time with this. But I'm guessing that we don't have a whole lot of time. From what I understand, the raiders may return. Is that correct?
Yes, they only seem to come out after dark. But that only gives us a few hours.
So you're saying they're going to be back later in greater numbers?
Maybe. That has been the pattern.
Okay. All right. So they're going to come up out of the ocean? Is that what we were saying before?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we could go to the ship until morning and then come back. Take everyone else with us.
You could.
Unless you all want to fight these raiders, we can do that too.
Well, I'm guessing that we just don't want them to take this place over.
I would prefer it if they didn't, but we're not exactly fighting fit at the moment.
Right.
And Lasnus, as you are examining the survivors and performing lay on hands, you notice that some of them are not only injured, but they're also ill.
I know I have lesser restoration. I just want to see if I have greater. Not yet. All right.
How many of them are sick?
Two of them.
Can I attempt to diagnose them?
Yeah.
Have they paid their copay?
Narita's making sure that he does charity care with the 300 credits.
Okay, well, I'll use lay on hands. Okay. When I delve the first one that's ill.
Yeah. Is anyone like near dying? Because Narita can also help with spare the dying, but that's as much as she can do. Other than the
spare the dying only works if they're unconscious, and so far everyone is conscious.
Perfect.
Just give me a second to look up what it is they got.
Yeah. We need to rough them up a little so that the spells will be more effective on them. Is that what we're saying?
No, if we get them to unconsciousness, Narita can help.
We are the weirdest health insurance mercenary company ever. Unum Insurance.
Technically,
you've tried the best. Now there's us.
You can't afford the best, so here we go.
Okay. So all right. So you notice they all have a fever, and they report tingling in their extremities. They report that they've had some difficulty sleeping, and they all look very ashy. However, though it appears that the the myconid spores have restored their bodies outwardly and healed their injuries. They still look like they're suffering from illness.
Rekmara, have you ever seen a malaise like this before?
No, not particularly. When did this start?
It started. It started about 2 hours after the pirate attack.
Were their blades poisoned or something?
They are not sure.
Or maybe
What?
blaster fire, like burst a line somewhere and you guys inhaled a weird gas?
Zalika says she thinks that their weapons may have been poisoned, but also it might have something to do with the presence of undead.
Undead.
Do you have a strange craving for blood now?
Nope.
I'm fairly certain that I have something about, like, I can usually naturally feel bad vibes in the air of that sort.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Shield of Faith. I want to make sure I'm using the right wordage. Lastness is the dits, not me. Well,
Did the detect good and evil?
yeah, those words in that order, in that combination.
Okay. You do not detect any undead in this room. They're still living. They're just sick.
Okay, well, first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to give each of them a tightly woven cloth mask and ask them to please wear that.
Too soon. Too soon.
Sorry. Why don't you two stay by me for a little bit? I just would like to continue to monitor you two. Can you please tell me if you start feeling any weirdness in conditions? This is getting kind of tough. And I gotta check through my paladin book. And she pulls out first her Star Scout guide. Yes.
All right.
That.
If you would like to make a medicine or history check.
Sure.
To see if you have heard of anything like this.
Okay. I got a 5.
Okay.
You
have never heard of it.
This is weird.
Rekmara just sighs, and he's just going to place one of his hands on the forehead of one of the ill folks and cast Lesser Restoration. See if that works.
All right. You do feel the spell take hold. So it may take them some time to recover, but you feel like it will not progress any further.
Did that work? She asks Rekmara.
I'm not quite sure. It might not progress. Just as a check, he's going to cast on the other one Greater Restoration and see if that works.
Okay.
Or gives me anything more concrete.
All right. Yes. You do feel that has a slightly stronger effect. She looks a little healthier, but she's still a little ashy around the gills.
I only have lesser restoration at this time. I don't have greater restoration yet. Can't help with that.
So does it feel like it was a disease or?
Yes.
Okay. Well, if that was a curse on you, the restoration wouldn't have worked, and I would have needed to cast another spell. But it seems like it's stabilized you for now. That'll be 350. Just kidding. I was just kidding about that.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that we should probably get you folks to the ship, and then see if we can. I don't know. Do we want to like wait till dark and try to pick them off as they come out of the water, or do we want to go down there after them?
Even though we do have some gear to take the fight down underwater and do some exploration, I feel like at the given time we will get caught underwater in the dark, and I can't express how much of a bad idea it is to be underwater in the dark.
Well, according to our charter, if at all possible, we nuke from orbit. So I think that we should follow our stated guidelines.
Nuke from orbit? What?
The best offense is to nuke from orbit. Just go all out. Bless you. That was quite the sneeze.
It worked last time.
Can I just get a quick reminder? Because sadly my brain is not completely here, and also it's been a little while. The importance of this place was what?
This place. This is where Sergal, the undead pirate king, went down.
Right. What were they doing? The people that we have just stumbled across.
People
what were they doing here?
Stumbled across were setting up a hermitage for people of various faiths to come and study and commune with nature and the elements.
Okay, gotcha.
It used to be a weather research facility to study the weird cyclical lightning storms.
Huh.
I'm also okay with sniping from orbit.
And the reason the best you can figure why the pirates came to attack this place was that the chief science officer, Oloran Archaeus, used to collect rare artifacts and knickknacks and stuff that he would buy on auction. And apparently he got hold of something valuable that the pirates wanted. So you've already found several valuable items. And as you are standing around in this panic room / vault, you notice there are a couple of other items in little niches on the walls in this room.
Does anything call to me in particular? Like maybe a huge rocket hammer of some sort?
Well, not a huge rocket hammer, but there is a shiny pendant with a glowing gem in the middle of it.
It's everything I ever wanted. Lassus gets distracted by the shiny and walks over to it.
And there is also a rather antique-looking data pad.
Sadly, Fritz had left the room earlier when...
this is true.
Yeah.
I think on seeing that, I'll go ahead and pick it up for Fritz, because I know Fritz would be interested in taking a look at it.
Okay.
I think there's more around here that we need to explore, and, well, I'm curious to see what a undead pirate king would be storing on their ship. I don't think nuking from orbit is going to allow us to do a whole lot of exploration.
Hang on, shiny, snipe from orbit. More later.
Okay.
So you think maybe when they come up, when they start coming up out of the water, that's when we should just sort of move in and get them? Something like that, maybe?
Yeah, but we should probably take this time to make this area a little bit more defensible.
Yeah. Good idea. So,
do you think they'll just come up from one spot, or do you think they would try to just come up from both sides?
if they're aware that if they are in any way aware that we've landed here, they're probably going to try to do. They're probably going to try to hit from more than one side. I mean, that's what I'd do. So we should probably at least have a look out there. Let's actually... I'm going to have a look around the grounds, just see what we can... see how much time we have, but I want to see if we can figure out just sort of what our positioning is here. But I'm on my comm if anyone needs me. And I think Cole is going to start he's going to start heading out to just sort of do the tactical sort of once-over thing to try to figure out what might need to be done to make this area more defensible, what we can sort of do, how many sides they might come in on us during that time. And if during that time I find Fritz, then I will give them this data pad that I've just picked up.
Narita will join you because safety in numbers.
Okay. So, couple of things before we move on to the next scene. Rekmara. Now that you are have been communing with this artifact for a bit, you notice some of its magical properties start to take effect. And among those, you feel as if your constitution is a bit hardier, and you are now immune to disease.
Great, more justification for his insurance plan.
Just in case you weren't already. I'm not sure when that kicks in for druids.
That's a good question.
If you already have that, I will re-roll.
I can double check that later. But.
Okay. We'll re-roll that later if need be. So you are immune to disease. You gain proficiency in a new skill. I will let you choose.
Okay. I think I will go with insight.
Okay. And you feel your spell casting ability increase. So you now have access to 1 5th level spell.
Ooh, those are powerful.
Yes.
He says, obviously. Okay.
You also feel that you may have gained some vulnerability against spells in exchange for that power. So you now have disadvantage on saving throws against spells. And your Yep, that's it. That's it.
Okay. All right. So, are you all set with that pendant already there, Lasness?
I'm not sure. I reverently picked it up. And
Lasness,
I'm still looking
as
at it.
you pick up this gleaming mithril pendant set with what appears to be a large emerald or some other gleaming green crystal.
Emeralds work. They're extremely expensive. I'm totally down for that.
Okay. This it's huge emerald. You also begin to attune to it. And as you look closer, you realize that this gem is actually a permanent hard light construct of staggering complexity.
My God, it's
It is
It's full of stars.
hexagonal shaped. And if you put it on, it will affix itself to your armor, so you cannot lose it.
That is very important.
And you get the sense that you can use this hard light projection to create a weapon in your hand. You can fly.
Oh, great.
It has some arcane power in it, so you get some spellcasting abilities. And if you want to know about them, you can look up the Gamma Pendant in the Dark Matter book. It's also alive, sentient. You hear it speaking to you telepathically and telling you the story, its origin story of how it once traveled the galaxy with an individual known as the Nomad, fighting evil across the universe. And you will also gain dark vision.
Awesome.
Or rather, it has dark vision, which you can utilize, similar to Vantha.
Okay. So when I take the pendant in my hands, it totally goes into magical girl moment for me. I definitely start spinning around as the pendant hovers and turns and affixes itself to my the breastplate part of my armor, and wings flourish to cement it into the piece. And I slowly float down. I say, "That's the lightest I've felt in 73 years."
I was actually timing this. Just
I do want to ask the pendant its name, or what it would like to be called, since it is sentient.
It calls itself the Nomad.
Okay.
Does that mean she has to change her name too?
No.
Affix something to her name? Add like a title, like the nomadic Star Dwarf princess or something?
That's up to Lesness.
I'll have to file the appropriate paperwork first. Back at base.
All right. Well, is there anything else in this room that catches our eye?
Let's see. There's a couple other things down here, I think. So the on the skeleton of the late chaplain, who died here in the original pirate attack many years ago, that also gives off a magical aura. And yeah, I think that's it, other than some items that may be carried by the survivors.
Okay. So what's adorning the skeleton?
It is a +1 tri-plate suit.
Oh. Well, I don't think I can actually wear that. Well, he's going to begin stripping it off anyways. Maybe Fritz can do something with this.
If not,
We
you
all
could
know
probably
Rector
sell
Russell
it for a
carried it
lot of
apart.
money.
That's true. All right. I guess we should start evacuating all the folks that were injured. But is there anybody here that looks like they're able and capable of fighting?
Yeah, the Scathari Spacer is the least injured of everyone, and Zalika herself.
All right. Well, if you're truly interested in establishing this hermitage, then it looks like you're just going to have to fight for it.
It looks that way. Given the choice between going back to Kemet and fighting some pirates, I think I'll take the pirates.
Well,
because if we don't stop them, there won't be a Kemet or anywhere else.
how are the pirates even going to get to Kemet from here if their ship is broke down?
Well, if they defeat us and get a hold of that. She nods at the puzzle cube in your hand.
Well, it's mine now and they can't have it.
Then you better figure out what it does.
Yes, well, I'm pretty sure I can do that. I don't need to rely on some sun above me to assist me in doing my work.
No,
Whatever you say.
Sorry.
All right. So meanwhile, I think Reknara is going to return to the second floor of the building
Okay.
in private to continue attuning to the obelisk puzzle box.
All right. So, where's everybody else headed? Cole? Narita?
So I think that if we run into is Fritz still in the in the keep, or has Fritz returned to the ship?
I think Fritz just headed back out into the keep to find something to fix.
Okay, if I'm able to. Sorry, go ahead.
If you go back out, you'll be able to find Fritz.
Okay. Yeah, just basically one thing, we'll just sort of head out and just sort of say, by the way, found this. You might want to see if there's anything anything useful on it. I sort of will hand Fritz the data pad.
Fritz was kind of all the way out toward the front gates, if you went that far. And more than happy to take anything you found from an informational standpoint there. I figured this place looked like it had been overrun before, so I took the liberty of charging up some perimeter defenses in case we need them.
That's good. What do we got?
Oh, I just did a little charged fence, added some electrification, and added a charge to the perimeter fencing that I found out here. Pulled some stuff down from the garden area. Just very basic electric fence, but we don't have to pay attention to it. It'll just go off on its own.
That's great. That's great.
Let me take a look at this data pad thing, though.
Yeah, sure. And hand it over.
And Fritz will just sit down for a minute wherever here in the courtyard to take a look at the stuff while they go walk around.
Okay.
What time of day is it, roughly?
I guess mid-afternoon.
Okay, we got a little time then. Mostly, I'm just going to be looking around. If Narita's good with it, I'm just going to be sort of looking. We're going to be sort of looking around just to see if there's anything. The fence is going to help, but we have to sort of figure out what sort of we can think what their plan of attack might be if they're coming back. I think that one thing I actually am seeing is that there are a couple of possible entry places at the back that we might want to be worried about. Because we saw them come up the front. If we'll be able to see them coming if they're coming up the front, and they might send people up the front. But then, as I'm sort of looking at the map of the island, are those sort of tiered-looking areas? Is that like more like mountainous, rocky type stuff, or is that something else? Sort of in the southwest and the northeast.
The southwest is kind of like a rocky area.
Okay. Cool. So looking at kind of the back, I can see that what looks like there's sort of beach back there, and then also there's this little cul-de-sac harborette. Little watery area that looks disturbingly close to the keep that we're in right now, and I worry about undead coming up out of the water and climbing up the side of the thing. So I'm sort of wondering if there's
That's fair.
if that looks like that something like that might be a thing that could happen if we want to. Sort of set stuff up. Also, I think at some point, probably this was probably during the cube looking stuff happening early on. I was probably just checking with the survivors and trying to find out like if any other sort of little tactical information they might have about the people that they were fighting, like how many roughly they were seeing, that kind of deal.
Okay. All right.
Apply that knowledge here.
Oh. As far as tactical information, there were a fairly large number of them, since there were more than just the 5 of them, and there's only 5 of them left now. They were outnumbered, and they didn't get a good head count because it was the middle of the night. They were taken by surprise. The only reason the 5 of them got down into the panic room was because Zaliga had a premonition, which she believes came from something divine. And she was able to grab some of the individuals who are awake on watch and pull them into the vault with her as the pirates were breaking into the house. Or into the keep. So other than the fact that they retreated as soon as the sun came up, and they are undead, so they're able to just walk right up out of the ocean floor. She can't tell you a whole lot.
Okay. So I have a couple of other things maybe that we might want to look into here. First off, I assume that this keep doesn't have any other sort of it doesn't have any like artillery type defense weapons, anything like that? Have we been able to find anything like that?
It does not. If it did at one point, actually,
No,
I
stay
take
away
that
from
back.
my Hermitage brand
did-
laser cannons. Or
you
anything?
did see when you went, well, some of you went up into the observatory with the computer panels, and there were also some controls for defense drones. Whether or not they are working, well, that is probably something Fritz could get up and running.
If somebody mentioned it to Fritz.
Yeah. I can't remember if I've been up there or
Yeah.
not.
I think that Narita and Rekmara were in there, or sorry, Lasnus and Rekmara were in there, but I think Fritz took a peek in there briefly as well when you all came upstairs, because Fritz got up ahead of you.
Okay. Well, I think we're probably going to be searching the whole place, just like walking through the whole place at least.
As you're doing your perimeter and doing a sweep, you will find that, and Fritz can get working on that.
Yeah, so Fritz will look at that, but after getting a sense of what's going on with the data pad, in case that is more immediately useful. And if it turns out that that's going to be like a rabbit hole, Fritz will try to put the brakes on trying to understand all of that immediately and go back to doing the drones. So
it may be a bit of a rabbit hole.
Fritz may have to roll to try not to go down the rabbit hole.
Let's hit brakes. No.
It's a data pad that holds an incredible wealth of information. We're talking on the level of the amoeboids databases. However, whoever compiled it wanted to make more room for information, and they took out the indexes. So there's just like one button on it that's like basically will scan the database and give you some random information that it thinks might be helpful.
Got it. So there's an entire project to re-index this thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Knowing that, it definitely gets put in the super secure backpack, like internal pocket, and we go back to checking out what there is about defense drones, and seeing what can be made to work from that, and maybe even cobble together some other kind of long-range defense if the drone component isn't working.
All right. Cole, as you were looking around that grotto out the back door,
grotto, that was the word.
Yes. Would you make a perception check for me?
I shall endeavor to do so. As soon as I can see where my perception is. There it is.
Are you standing next to me?
Yeah, I think Narita's... I think we're doing this together. Probably, if I remember right.
Yes, Narita, you can also make a perception check to see what you can see.
Which I sincerely hope is the case, because I got a 4.
Ooh, I got a 20.
Cole sees that the grotto exists and instantly starts thinking about all its tactical disadvantages and contingencies and how things could go wrong. Did you say 14?
20.
20. Okay, 20. Narita, you see that below the water line, near the boat that you see there, there's a little rowboat there. Below the water line in that area, there are a whole bunch of corpses held together in a fishing net.
Oh, that's kind of dreary. All right. Hey Cole.
Yeah.
Do you see that out there, past the boat? past the rowboat.
Yeah, we're going to want to set up some, make sure the fence is extending out this way, right? Because it's going to be an issue with them creeping up.
Yeah, I mean, I think they got some folks. There's
What?
There's a bunch of bodies down there, man.
Sort of looks further down, and it's like, oh, is that what those are?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
not
Also,
Those
when
are
we get back,
the folks that didn't make it.
we should put a little note for you to go visit the spectrometrist when we get back to the base, though, because you need glasses.
not that old yet. I don't think. Yeah.
Your eyes might be. That's all right. Let's
Wait a minute.
let's go take a look.
Sort of like, do we? Do we all have? Yeah, I guess we're probably like up on the parapets or whatever, and so I guess we're gonna head down and take a look.
Okay.
So just out of curiosity, is there like any sort of ledge or platform that people could stand on overlooking the grotto?
Let me take a look at these maps. There is, you could get up onto the wall around the courtyard over there.
Facing the grotto? The grotto in the south.
Yeah, you could, because it's kind of off to the right of Area 14, down on the bottom edge of the map. So you could get up on that part of the wall next to the back door.
Oh, okay. How tall is that slope?
That's a good question. Flip up to the beginning of the chapter and see if it says anything useful. Okay. Yeah, that slope is pretty high. So you may not have a great view. But you could probably also, like if you went up into the comm tower, you could probably have a view of that area as well.
Okay, sorry. So where did the pirates come up last time?
They came from the Cole saw the footprints on the north side of the island by the pier.
So around Area 1?
Yeah.
Okay. Is in that wall around Area 2, is that intact?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, did anybody explore around outside of room 11 and near the rowboat and 14?
That's where we're headed now.
That's where you're heading now? Okay. So What's that wall made out of on the north side?
The courtyard wall?
Yes.
It is a stone wall.
Stone wall.
Yeah. Okay. As far as what is in Area 11, it is it's the dorm area, sleeping quarters for the inhabitants. It's kind of a mess in there.
It's kind of a mess in here.
Yeah. And make a wisdom saving throw, anyone who's in Area 11.
Oh, dear.
Going through there.
I'm with them, and that means
Oops.
you get to do any saving throw as long as you're within 10 feet of me with advantage, and also with your charisma as a modifier.
Ugh. Is my charisma good? Better than my wisdom, all right.
I mean, for me, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of another. But yeah.
Well,
Advantage I'll
you're
take.
welcome.
So 17 and 17, because I got it twice. All right.
I rolled 2 18s on the dice.
Okay.
All
right.
So it comes to 19 for both.
Lesness, what did you get?
I rolled my passive. I rolled 14. But now that I have the gamma pendant, does that mean that I go on its? Or does it also have... I'm sorry for these questions.
The gamma pendant, that's a good question. Let me look real quick. Anyway, 14 is high enough for you to notice that there are 14 is high enough that you notice, all of you, there are thwirls. They have come in through the broken back door. There are bunches of them hiding in the little cubicles and dorm rooms and scavenging off of various electric lights and stuff.
Huh. Okay.
Thorls.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of scatter when you come through, and then recongregate when you leave to go look out the back, and then when you come back in, they scatter again.
Yeah.
But Lasness, if you were with Rick Marat earlier when he found the floating space eels, the eel eyes, which were hunting for thwirls, this is why there were eel eyes in the room upstairs.
Guys, these things are going to be chomped up by the Eli's if we're not careful. Maybe we should help them?
Eli's? What are Eli's? Do I know? Or is that something someone... Is that a new word to me?
Let me
They were the
spell
healing
that for
creatures
you.
upstairs.
I don't...
What?
If you've probably heard of them or encountered them. They are the natural predator of the thwirl. Actually, I made them up, but
They were what broke into the windows in the upstairs.
yeah.
But if I remember correctly, thwirls are a protected species across the verse. No?
Not here.
My friend's like, no, let them go.
Now when there are this many,
No, they are not a protected species. In fact, they're a pest.
Oh, they're invasive?
Well, what else would you call a bunch of rodents that can turn invisible and eat your electronic equipment?
I'm only aware of one protected thwirl right now, and they live on our ship.
So, I think while they're doing that, Rekmara is going to be basically casting plant growth along the, like in the beach, leading up to the walls. It's basically 100-foot radiuses.
Yep.
So
Making some difficult terrain there.
Yeah. So it'll be quarter movement for anybody who tries to make their way up there.
Sounds good. So as you were all making your preparations, I think this is probably a good opportunity to go ahead and take a break.
Cool. Yeah, I think so. All right, folks, we will be back in just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and I've got going to go ahead and throw an interview on, and we will see you at some point soon after the interview. I had words, and then the words left, and I don't know what happened. These things happen sometimes. It was carried off by the owl. All right, we'll see you in a bit. Welcome to the break. I have Trooper SJP with me today to talk about all manner of things. Hello.
Hello.
Yay.
All manner of things.
All manner of things. But one thing I wanted to start out with, though, is just you do streaming and a great deal of RPGs. How did you get into streaming in the first place?
It must have been 5 or so years ago when I was watching Geek and Sundry, and that's what got me into streaming. I mean, I wasn't one of the old video game Twitch folks. I got into it through RPGs, and I was watching Geek and Sundry, and that sort of led me to Hyper, which led me to one particular. And I was doing sort of community stuff, and that led me to one of their GMs, and I became a mod in her channel, and Random Tuesday, she's great. And the thing that happened was that I thought, well, this would be fun, but I can't stream because I'm a teacher, and that might be weird. Like, what if my students find me? Like, I just don't know. I don't know if I could do that. It just might not be logistically feasible. And then she ended up streaming on her own channel. She's just started streaming, not just through Hyper RPG, but on her own. And I became a mod, and I thought, she is not only a teacher, she's like a middle school, elementary school teacher. Like, and I'm teaching university students who cares? They're all, you know what I mean? Like, if they actually see me, it probably wouldn't make a big difference. And seeing her do it and having someone that I could ask questions to and figure out, okay, well, what are the logistics? How does one do this? Like, how do you deal with, because this streaming is not just, can you get the tech up, but it's also, okay, well, do I have to worry about my students finding me? How do you manage the emotional part? And having a model of somebody who was able to create a community and sort of manage it well made me think, oh, yeah, no, I can do this. And I started off easy mode, doing streaming through my PS4, because the PS4 has a button, and I don't actually have to know. I didn't have to know how to do OBS or anything like that, and that just started it. And from there, I figured out how to do OBS, and then from there, like little bit by little bit, I was able to work through it. And I mean, what's interesting to me is that it's a much larger. There's a lot more to it than one might initially think. Especially, are you going to have a Discord and sort of try to do community building through that as well on top of it? Will you do games, RPGs? How are you going to sort of think about getting art or not for sort of setting everything up? What kind of experience do you want to have? And I suppose, what kind of streamer do you want to be? And I learned that there are these streamers who play, I don't know, Fortnite, and they have 18 million viewers every time they show up, and they also stream 80 hours a week. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. That won't be, that is interesting, but not interesting for me. And people always say things like, oh, if you want to be more popular, you could stream these things. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to stream what's interesting. And then I think what's great about that is that you then cultivate a community who is there for that, and then you can stream the kinds of things that you're interested in and get a community of people who are also interested in those things, and it's just nicer.
Cool. Now, I see that. Speaking of getting into streaming communities, I was looking through your website, and I see that you did a newsletter for one of the. Was it a Hyper RPG show?
It was, yes. It
was for their Shadowrun game.
Yes.
Would you like to talk about it a little bit?
Sure. So you know how some people are, there are different types of gamers out there. And I have always been a sort of a character-driven simulationist gamer, whereas I'm really interested in the world itself and how people interact in that world. And one of the things I've always loved to do as a GM is, depending on the setting, is create newspaper stories. Because I like to, rather than having a set plot that I do, I tend to have a world, and there are people in the world who have plots they have going on, but who knows what will happen. And I really like to have a world where the players impact the world both in small and large ways. And I always wondered, well, how do I let the players know in an organic way the ways in which they're impacting the world? And having a newspaper was one of those ways that I would do it, where I would sort of come out with a newspaper every couple of sessions that would sort of mark in these small and subtle ways the ways in which they've impacted the world, as well as have plot hooks. And so for this game, which I loved, I thought, well, what could I do? And what I decided to do was to create a reporter character who was in the world that the show was set in. And I thought, okay, here's a person. The challenge for myself is to write stories based on only what was happening in the public of that game. So any kind of conversations happening behind closed doors, a reporter would never know about. But if there's a firefight downtown on the freeway, a reporter would know about that. And then sort of writing these stories that would sort of inform the community that had grown up, because there was a bit of a metagame in that particular RPG as well, where viewers could sort of do faction turns. And so I was reporting on the faction turns, and I was reporting on all the public things, and other people became really inspired, and they would also submit stories. And it was just this kind of neat sort of in-game world to show in some ways the ways in which the average person on the street might view Shadowrunners, PCs, and the ways in which that might impact regular folks. And that was really fun. And that was a big project in the end, to sort of put out a newspaper every week. But it was good. It was really good. That was great fun. And that was one of my first my personal big entrance as more than just a viewer for a stream community.
It's a very interesting thing, really, because it's just I think it just shows how early on we still are with this whole medium, that it can be that engaging. But I haven't heard of many streams doing something like that as of yet. Yeah. But it's very cool. It's very cool.
And it's all about, I think, that's all about player investment, right? Yeah. Or viewer investment, and the different ways in which you can get viewer investment. And I think Hyper RPG does a lot, but a lot of the ways in which shows will generate viewer investment is through donations, but that's not the same thing as having viewers create things. Yeah. And how do you create a show that allows viewers to create things without negatively impacting the campaign? Yeah. Which can happen in all sorts of ways. I mean, I've seen shows where people are able to donate, and donate will get you things, but what that ends up doing is skewing. Like, well, now the players have 18 advantage things, and you're like, well, that's going to be a little bit rough, or trolling happens or whatever. So ways in which you can get a healthy engagement that encourages players to sort of take on the living world and sort of, you know what did that actually really well? Mm-hmm. It was Shield of Tomorrow had this Discord channel, which was Shield of Tomorrow was a Star Trek RPG on Geek and Sundry. Mm-hmm. And they had in their Discord, they had an RP set of RP channels, and the players would just sort of make up crew members for this sort of Star Trek ship that were that were on different shifts, right? So they were never seen, but they were around. And then the cast, the GM, saw who they were and then noted them down. So like, oh yeah, so the person who's on shift 3 is so and so, and would like name check these people that the viewers had sort of created, and ways in which you can interact that way. I think is really, I'm really excited to see how that can go.
Me too, absolutely. Very much looking forward to how this whole medium evolves as time goes on. Well, thank you very much for coming and chatting with us for a bit. If folks want to find you online, where should they go?
Ooh, you can find me on Twitch at TrooperSJP, which is where I do my streaming. You can find me at Academic Foxhole on Twitter, where I speak randomly about things, inconsistently, intermittently, and oddly, and too verbosely. You can find me in either of those places.
We encourage verbosity on this channel. Excellent. All right. Well, folks, I'm going to throw things back over to me, or possibly to a video graphic of some kind if we're still backstage panicking, which we probably are. But in the meantime, we will see you later. We have returned. I think there are a bunch of thwirls down here. Is that what we were doing?
Yes, there are a bunch of thwirls in the dormitory. And a bunch of corpses in the bay.
I feel like we should probably check the corpses out first, just because that strikes me as being perhaps a bit more immediate of a problem.
But why would there be so many thwirls in the dormitory, though?
No one else seems to be using it.
How do they even grow on this island? That's what I don't get.
They swam here.
Was there
I mean,
natural...
there are some trees. There are probably like other areas. You are just kind of on an island in the middle of nowhere, but it's probable that they stowed away on some supply ship and then just got dropped off.
Airdropped the thwirls on them. So.
They have no natural predators,
Silly
and therefore
hermits.
they have grown.
But yes,
No, they do have a natural predator. The
Oh yeah,
eel.
the Eli. But they just got here, right? They haven't been here, so.
Wonder how the
Where'd those things come from then?
Yeah.
As we go into the long-winded speculative ecology of this island.
Doing some kind of ecological experiment on this island while this is going on.
I guess we should check out the corpses in the bay. Fine.
Okay. So, how would you like to approach the grotto? Are you
Oh dear.
just like, are you looking down through like your scope on a rifle? Are you going actually down to the shoreline?
Oh, the grotto has a number on it, doesn't it?
Yes, number 14.
We should be careful.
Well, wait. Now, do we have to get through all the brush and shit? Stuff. Excuse me. Woo, woo, woo.
Fine. Swearing's okay.
It slipped out so fast.
It's all right.
I was
have
unprepared.
I have the mature tag on. It's okay.
Oh, it hurt me a little. I was not ready.
Well, you do whatever is right for you, of course. Whatever your internal FCC is doing right now.
Apparently we are mature level today. Excuse me.
Up in wine and steak land.
Wine and steak, brush and. Are we walking through the brush and stuff that just was planted along the shore?
No, because I did it on the north side.
Yeah, that's
the
up
north
by
side.
here.
Okay, great. Awesome.
Back here is more rocky, so
I believe I would like to walk closer to the shoreline and the rowboat.
okay.
Let's see if I have anything that are like binoculars or type things. I don't think I do. I would probably have vinegar. I do have binoculars. I have binoculars. I would like to use my binoculars.
Okay. So as Narita makes her way down to the shoreline, cool. You see
Downtown.
You see 3 large creatures come up out of the water. Narita, you'll see them also. They have 4 legs and 2 like front arms with crab-like kind of lobster claws. And they have tentacles coming out of their faces. And they appear to have been perhaps feeding on the corpses. And you have disturbed them.
I'm going to venture out and say, let them have the corpses. At least once they finish eating them, they can't be raised as undead.
Narita's about to hit that expeditious retreat.
Okay.
Can we, before she starts running, like, can I like, is there a corpse that's like not being nibbled on, like kind of close that she can kind of cast a spell on that won't like disturb the beasties eating?
I mean, you could try, but then you may end up fighting them. They look pretty territorial.
She's just gonna head back. Never mind. It's not worth it. Never mind. We're head on back. If only we had seen this through the binoculars that someone just found before we got down here.
Dilkul, through your binoculars, you see these creatures lunge up out of the water at Narita as she tries to examine the nearest corpse, and then she hightails it back.
Never has a nautilid moved so fast.
Do we? Okay. You okay?
Yeah, cool, great, thanks.
How badly do we think we need to examine these? Because, you know, I mean, on the one hand, this actually makes me think I'd be slightly less worried about people attacking from the grotto. If they're going to have these to deal with. But at the same time, I'm a little worried about them leaving corpses down here to be reanimated.
They look like they'll finish off their meal. It'll be fine.
I sort of look. How many corpses are there? And like,
a
roughly,
lot.
that I can see? Yeah. Does that look like more than they'd be able to eat right now?
Depends.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's a baker's dozen corpses.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. They've been served. They ordered a 13-pack of corpses. Can I tell if they're like, if the corpses are like, do they look like other hermits, or do they look like they're from somewhere else?
Yeah, they look like I mean, being submerged kind of makes it hard to tell how long they've been down there. But they are human, half-elves. Looks like there's a dwarf among them. Kind of like various blaster, fire, and or laser sword slashing and stabbing wounds. So it seems like, based on how much they have been preyed upon, they've probably been underwater maybe since this morning. Probably dead for about a day or so.
Oh, so fresh dead.
Yeah. So most likely, these are other people from the Hermitage, as opposed to people who lived here a decade ago.
They're in a net, all of them?
Yeah, they're all held in place by a big old fishing net.
Wait, but how they... Well, now the question is how they get there, then.
They were put there by someone to either attract these things or provide these things a food service.
Ooh.
That means
Have
that
some
either
people
these
to
things are
ask.
smarter than we expect, or someone's using them for something.
Oh, what if having the bodies there keeps those things from then going around the rest of the island so that one side is clear so that people can come up from the other side? We need to go get the bodies and move them.
Could By using flight, would I be able to expedite this whole process by zooming over and carrying the bag of bodies back?
Have a shuttlecraft.
That's a lot of corpses to carry in a.
Have a shuttlecraft and ropes.
Oh, yeah.
Just haul them up. Someone's got to go down there and
Space gnome.
hook them on.
I could do that part.
Then what do we do with the bag?
Hook the
Pick the whole
bag.
net up and drop it on the other side.
Yeah.
Then what about the backside then?
I mean,
It's
we still
smaller.
have to keep an eye on it, but it's actually a smaller choke point if you think about it.
Okay.
Also unexpected if they set it up.
Okay.
I mean, we, obviously, I think we should take a look at the corpses first before we drop them off, but, yeah, that's,
So
that's an idea.
So what you're saying is we got to fight these things, and then
Well,
wait.
whoever is, I mean, we can try to, we got to provide cover for whoever goes in.
Yeah. Wait, Narita can be invisible. She can be invisible, and then go look. And also is the only one who can actually go under the water without having to transform first. So it's the best plan. Best plan.
Well, I mean, we
That's
don't have to, I mean, after we lift them up, I was thinking is when we could actually search them. Because,
Not if we're having to fight off the thingies because they're mad.
No, after that. Like, after we have them, then before we set them down.
I think those things will come immediately after their lunch.
After we get them away from the grotto, after we get the bodies away from the grotto, we can,
Do we know that they're not going to come after it, right away, though?
not while we're in midair.
It seemed like as soon as you got close to the shoreline, the creatures under the water kind of seemed to lunge at you. So you will have to contend with them to get the corpses out of the water.
Yeah, we're still going to have to deal with them one way or the other. But,
So Narita can hook them on with the bag of holding while she's invisible, so all of her stuff's invisible, hook the stuff on, talk to a corpse, because she can do that, and then leave.
Do you want backup? I won't be invisible, though. So it's
You
more
guys
like
ever
front
dropped
back.
an electrified charge into a school of fish?
ooh.
Once in Star Scouts camp.
And how many fish did you end up with after that?
I stopped counting. Seemed kind of counterintuitive.
Yep.
Wait, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Probably not.
I think I am.
They're
Cole-
right.
Cole pulls one of the bottles of lightning out of his pocket, just sort of looks at it for a second, looks at the water.
Well, stop that.
Narita is just gonna cast invisibility and go for it.
Okay.
You're going to lose her completely, right?
Who's gonna go for it? We're too much discussion. We're done.
I hope you have resist lightning.
I was gonna get rid of it. It's like, oh crap. So I guess that the second Narita disappears, I'm gonna have to throw the damn thing because I want it to be done by the time she gets down there. Is that how physics works? Oh God.
We have time for her to stop on the shore, so you can do it.
It's just I can't see you. I don't know where you are. But
Yeah, no, she's not gonna jump in or anything. She's just gonna run down the shore, but invisible, and then you can throw it. Go for it.
You
don't-
just wait till
No,
till the
you
spark-
haven't seen or heard a splash. So as far as you know, she hasn't entered the water yet.
Has not gone in. It is still safe.
All right.
But, it's a bit of a gamble.
Yeah. So if they're currently in the water eating the corpses, then I just get to a vantage. Can I fire more easily from the? I have no idea what terrain we're approaching through to get there. Is it rocky? Is it?
It is kind of rocky.
Okay. Would I get a better shot from the rocks, or would I get a better shot from the from like a window?
Probably kind of from the rocks over near where the rowboat is. If you just like come out the back door and go around that corner to the right.
Okay. Out of curiosity, I mean, we probably don't have a lot of time to examine it right now, but is the does if I'm in a position I can see the rowboat when I get into position, does it look like really old, or does it look like it was put here more recently?
The boat looks like it is in fairly good shape, actually.
So they hauled it over here in the rowboat.
Actually, I take it back.
They didn't haul it over here in the rowboat.
The boat itself looks new, but it looks like it has recently been smashed.
Gotcha. All right, cool. So, just basically, before I do this, is everyone else where they want to be for this right now? What are we doing?
So let me clarify. Is Fritz anywhere near here? Is Fritz still working on the drones?
It's up to you. You have heard this conversation going on, I would assume. So
Fritz is going to come down and be in the general area and maybe even come down by Cole, because Fritz has this sinking suspicion that they're going to get in over their heads. And Fritz wants to provide all the backup lightning necessary when they find that one lightning bottle isn't going to do it.
Yeah,
okay.
Probably not. I also, just to be clear, if we are in fact taking a second, are we actually doing this airdrop thing we were talking about, or is that going out the window at this point?
I'm all for it.
We can take care of that. That's easy enough.
I mean, it's up to you.
So the way this was in my head, I was thinking it was like we'd have someone flying overhead, the cable going down, either Narita or Lasmus or someone was going to be out there and hooking the net up to a chain, and then we were just going to get lifted off and away. And that we didn't want to kill all of the. We just want to sort of temporarily delay these crab creatures. We don't necessarily want to kill them, because we then want to use the corpses on the other side of the island.
Got it. So why don't I go to the shuttle and get ready to bring it around with a grappling hook, since that's your plan?
That's what I was thinking. Is that
Narita was just going to use some ropes to help tie it to the nets, and then bring those out with her, but to get
Fritz
ready.
is going to nod and smile and walk off, assuming that Fritz is going to have to troll the water with the end of the grappling hook to grab something to drag it up with. And if they can figure out a rope hook, great. If they can't, we'll just drag net.
There were a lot of rope odds and ends and stuff
in the bag of holding
in the junk room.
I took them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. All right. So I'm going to wait until Fritz tells me that they're in place. Because I'm just going to say, let me know when you're in place, and then I'll throw the thing.
Okay. So Fritz goes up to the shuttle to do a flyover. Narita is going down into the water. Narita, would you make me a stealth check with advantage, since you are invisible?
You know that stealth check's not going to be good. She got 0 stealth. 17.
Okay.
And
they do not appear to notice you yet.
Okay. Well, she's going to wait at the shoreline waiting for the shock.
All right. So if we're, I'm just waiting till we're in position.
Cole, very quickly, almost as soon as Fritz disappears, the shuttle flies over.
Okay. Well, once I see that it's there, I'm like, okay, here we go. lob.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Do I need to make a lobbing roll?
Yeah, go ahead and make a ranged attack.
Okay. Let me check my my modifier. Because it has been a little time. Okay. Yeah, I think I see what it is. Okay. All right, here we go. Yeah, 13.
Okay. So you chuck it into the water. Now there's a bottled lightning in the water, and it doesn't seem to have hit any of the creatures.
That did not work nearly as well as I'd hoped it would.
Does the splash at least distract them?
It does. There's a splash, and they turn toward it.
Well,
Yeah.
When I see that doesn't work, are we just looking for a distraction, or does it have to be electric? Because I can't
I mean,
help with
distractions are good. My next plan is to start shooting and see if I can figure out where it's it's basically immediately draw and try to shoot where the bottled lightning was, so that I can try to hit it and make it explode.
Use your new talking pistol.
Yeah. I'm going to draw Vantha and just say, hey, would you mind shooting? Hey, we're shooting at these crab people to stun them. We okay with that?
Are they people?
I don't think they're people. I think they're animals.
If we're trying to distract, I would actually very much like to use my orbital hard light cannon.
Okay.
It won't kill Narita, will it?
Let's not find out.
You have no idea.
It might not kill Narita.
I'm looking to shoot not directly at the Vantha, but enough to make them realize, oh shit, we need to get away, and separate them from paying attention to Narita.
Oh, they don't know Narita's there.
Right, and I need them to
No idea where Narita is. She's invisible.
I have no idea where she is either.
Pull through bottled lightning in there.
So watch your shot, please.
All right, everyone. I'm aiming for 2:00. My position.
Where's your position?
Well, I'm not invisible. I'm next to Cole.
Wait, 2:00. Okay, yeah, sure, that's fine.
You understood.
I understood. I got it.
So I'd like to do a super cool twirl. Have a couple of feathers coming out of my back on wings, which then wrap around both my arms to turn my arms into the orbital cannon. All cool. Psh, psh, psh. And then and I've got to find the right dice for that. Still working on that.
Hopefully, if this distraction is large enough, at the same time there's all this splashing and stuff going on and bad things, Narita will hopefully be able to just kind of sneak into the water very quietly and then very peacefully swim to the corpses. Just for a little chit-chat.
Okay. Orb of Light into immense hard light construct, an orbital cannon positioned 1 mile above my head. The cannon fires a blinding beam of energy, lands in a 15-foot radius, 1 mile high cylinder centered on a point within range. I need to take a saving throw on this. No, wait, no, I don't. What?
Or the creatures do a saving throw.
Right. So I'm going to keep it within 15 feet of them, but like at 2 o'clock on the rightmost side.
Okay. What's the DC?
It's a dexterity saving throw.
All right. And what number do they need to? What are they shooting for?
To beat my dexterity.
Oh, your
Yeah.
spellcasting ability.
Oh, they're getting there. Scrolling in the wrong direction. 13.
Okay. So we got a 13, a 9, and a 15. So 2 fails, or 2 saves, 1 fail.
Okay. Anything that hit it gets 20 d10 radiant damage on a failed save, and then half of that. I'm so glad I chose the biggest one. I'm assuming.
Narita, your expression is priceless.
I'm just like, I thought we were. I didn't think. I thought we didn't want to fight.
I thought we were friends.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh no.
So they do take damage
Start raging.
a bit. One of them takes the full damage, the other 2 less so. And I think at this point we are going to roll for initiative.
$16.
18.
7.
14.
I would like to activate the nuke from orbit option.
Okay.
How close are people to the actual water surface, other than Narita, who is in the water? How close is everybody else to the actual water surface where the creatures are?
They are about I would say they're about 20 feet up or so.
All right.
right. Cole, you're up first.
Okay, so I just want to clarify something because I feel as though things shifted for a second, and I just want to make sure that I understand what's happening.
Okay.
Although admittedly, I'm sure games of telephone are still going on anyway. But so are we?
So
Were we going to try to? Are we still trying to distract them, or did the plan suddenly change to fight them?
that is up to the party, and you can take this moment to find that out if you like. So far, what has happened is you threw the bottled lightning in. It just made a splash in the middle of them. They kind of turned toward it, and then Lasness fired her orbital cannon down into the water, hit one of them, and has drawn their attention.
Okay.
I feel like the orbital cannon was a statement.
And Fritz is
Aggression.
kind of pressing the wall here with the shuttle, with the rope, with the grappling hook dangling below it now. So that's going to enter into some future equation depending on what happens. So
Okay. I have another question about the orbital cannon. Where is the orbital cannon? Is there a literal cannon in orbit right now, or is there are we using the term orbital cannon to refer to something else?
There is a hard light cannon, correct me if I'm wrong, 1 mile above Lasness's location.
And Lasness appears to have pinpointed. But was Lasness firing, like, did it fire, like, try to fire, like, right down on them, or was it off to the side?
15 feet of them, and one got a hit in its radius.
Because I know Lasness was trying to fire at, like, 2 o'clock from them. A little away from them, right? Or am I?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not, like, directly on any of the party members who may be invisible.
Right, but then also the point, but also it was not directly on the crab creatures, so I'm assuming the plan
trying
is
to pull their attention away from the group's net.
Okay, so I'm assuming the plan is still theoretically distract them.
Theoretically, yes.
But so unless they start coming at us, I don't feel like there's going to be a need to
it
shoot
kind
at
of
them.
depends on how things go.
Yeah. I'm going to... I think what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to fire into the water without hitting them.
Okay.
I'm essentially trying to... the idea is to kind of try to scare them in one direction or another, hopefully.
Okay.
So that they're moving away a little further away from the corpses.
Okay, so is this an attack, or would you like to make an intimidation roll?
That's a great question. I think under the circumstances, I'm going to try for an intimidation roll, even though that I do. Even though numerically I would do better with an attack, I feel as though the situation is such that this is more me trying to do that. I feel the mechanics probably bear that out better. Anyway, which means I just get the 1 die. And also my third question is Vantha never answered me about how she feels about firing at these.
Vantha says they look like aberrations to her, and she is fine shooting at them.
Okay, that's fine. All right.
Although she feels it may be somewhat strange since she is somewhat of an aberration herself, but not technically that same kind.
Yeah. No, it's okay. Okay. And again, I'm not firing directly at them. I'm just trying to scare them.
Yes.
So I shall roll this die, and I shall see what happens. So the thing that happened is that I got an 18.
Okay.
Nice.
They seem to they are aware of your presence and are at least not currently attacking you.
Okay. Cool.
They seem to be momentarily at least startled by the blaster fire and not coming any closer for the time being.
Cool. Yeah, that's all I'm doing. I'm just doing that and watching to see what they do.
And that brings us to Fritz in the shuttle.
Yep. And Fritz is going to maneuver the shuttle. I'm assuming that's a piloting role to drop the grappling hook below the surface of the water and as close to the net as possible, and crossing fingers that Narita is going to be able to somehow help hook it up. So.
Okay.
Oh, and I roll a 3.
Okay.
Not so good.
It's a little hard to aim that grappling hook in a moving shuttle.
Yep, not this time.
Not this time. Rekamara, what would you like to do?
I'm going to hold my turn.
Oh, damn.
Okay. Is there a specific trigger that you were holding your action for?
Yeah, I was going to wait to see if the aberrations start surfacing out of the water.
Okay. And if and when they come up, what do you want to do?
I'm going to cast Maelstrom on the water.
Okay. Good to know. All right. That will bring us to one of the aberrations, which is currently, they have currently been intimidated by Cole's blaster fire, and they are kind of staying where they are on the far side of the grotto from the party, which will bring us to Lasness.
I would actually like to hold my turn to see what the rest of them do, please.
Okay.
And if they start to aggressively move towards us, I will fire my orbital hard light cannon.
Sounds good. The other two aberrations also seem to be kind of holding position on the far side of the grotto, not coming any closer. So that brings us to Narita's turn.
Are they surfaced right now, or
They're kind of like they did kind of like come up a little bit when the bottled lightning got thrown into the water, but then when the cannon fired, they kind of dove under to try to avoid it. So they're kind of cornered a little bit right now.
Are they like within, like if Narita suddenly wasn't invisible anymore, would they see her?
Yeah, they probably would, because they are aware that you were right next to Cole. So if you reappear next to Cole, they are aware that Cole is shooting at them. So if you reappear, they will probably see you. But Cole and Lasness have effectively bought you around to do your thing without them immediately being able to lunge at you and grab you.
So Narita's in the water already.
Okay.
With the corpses.
Okay.
Just invisible. If she becomes not invisible next to the corpses, will she be noticed?
That depends. If you can make a stealth check and see what happens. They currently don't know where you are.
Okay. Well, in order to cast the spell to speak to the corpses, Narita has to stop being invisible.
Okay. Well, they currently don't know where you are, and they don't get to do anything until their next turn because we're on initiative. So you can cast the spell, and you will have until their turns come around.
Okay.
Which means they may find you, but they may not.
And she can do a spell. Can she do a spell and a cantrip in the same turn, or no?
You can do a spell and a cantrip if one of them is a bonus action.
No. Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna take the risk.
Okay.
There's an 11 from the stealth check, so not great.
Okay. Well, so far, they don't see you. Cole and Lasnus seem to have their attention.
Okay. And she's gonna very subtly kind of go up to the nearest, most intact-looking corpse.
Okay.
And cast Speak with Dead and not be invisible anymore.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
So, would you describe to the audience what Speak with Dead does and what that looks like for you when you cast it?
So, Speak with Dead helps to not necessarily reanimate the corpse, but just give it like enough life to answer 5 questions. And only things that it knows, but it doesn't have to tell the truth. So it can still lie to me.
Okay.
And for Narita, that like the way that she does it is she kind of reaches out and holds their hands and just gently speaks and says, I have some questions. Would you please answer? And just kind of stares into their little eyes until they have some sort of sign of life or start to respond.
Okay. So, you bring some semblance of animation to this corpse. This half-elf, their eyes blink and open, and it's weird because they shouldn't be able to talk underwater, but none of this is natural at all. So you have sort of created this little bubble around them, or somehow this necromantic energy enables them to speak to you even through the water. You can understand the kind of bubbling, sort of gasping breaths as they say, ask.
What happened to you?
It all happened so fast. I was passed out drunk. I just made a batch of my assassin vine wine, and it was really good. And then the next thing I know, these undead pirates are breaking down the back door. There was blaster fire, laser swords everywhere. Oh, they were awful. They were dripping wet, but they looked like they'd just been snatched out of an airlock.
Were you alive when you were brought here?
I don't think so.
What's your last memory?
We were all asleep. They just slaughtered us in our beds.
What were you doing here?
I just mind my own business, tending the vines, making booze. I just woke up to see it looming over me. And then there was a sword in my chest.
Is there anything you'd want me to tell a loved one for you, since you can't?
I don't really have any family. The folks here were pretty much the only people I really talk to anymore.
I'm sorry. I have 5 questions. I can't count. Okay. Well. And
The bubbles slowly cease. It goes limp.
Narita is saddened, but also kind of aggravated we picked the person who was blackout drunk. And now she's not invisible anymore.
She's aggravated.
She's so aggravated.
Could be worse. She could be spaggravated.
So she's gonna try to, like, while like she keeps looking over towards the creature, she's gonna try to punch down underneath the thing and try to attach the ropes as her action.
All right. Well, your action was casting the spell.
Oh.
So you just have your movement left.
Well, the movement is going to hide behind them, the mound of corpses.
Okay. So that'll bring us back around to Cole.
Hi.
Hello.
Sorry, I was distracted by the fact that I forgot to change the commands on my bot from Tuesday.
Oh.
Anyway. But yes, right. What are we doing? There's stuff.
Well, we just had Narita's turn. We're in initiative. You bought Narita around to do her thing. So as far as you know, hopefully she's doing her thing. She's invisible.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
what do you want to do?
Probably was just talking to a corpse, I guess. But didn't she have to turn visible to talk to the corpses, or is that?
Yeah, but she's kind of underwater, so
concealed. Okay.
You didn't see where she went, and she's kind of hiding under the corpses.
Under the assumption that she is under the water still, I'm going to again try to be careful. I'm just going to keep shooting into the water, but at closer to where these creatures are.
Okay.
These aberrations, whatever we call them. We need to get an ichthyologist out here to tell us what these are called. But I'll go ahead and
character. I can tell you what they're called.
I don't know. I think I enjoy fumbling around for it for a little while longer until we actually find out the truth. But
fair enough.
Sort of halfway. I know anyone know what these things are called. But
you're gonna keep shooting at them to keep them.
I'm gonna keep trying to scare them. So this will just be the same as before. So I'm taking multiple shots around where they are, but not trying to hit them.
All right.
So, I guess we shall attempt more intimidation.
Go for it.
This is where things turn on me. Let's see. Yep, they turned.
What you got?
So I got it totals out to a 6. On the die itself, unfortunately, there's a 1.
Okay. I see. They do not seem as intimidated by the blaster fire this time around. But first, before they get to go, we have Fritz up in the shuttle.
Fritz is going to try again, but this time figuring that being fancy and trying to scoop is not going to do the trick. Fritz is just going to lower the entire grappling hook into the water and crossing fingers that Narita is down there somewhere doing her thing. So Fritz is just going to get the shuttle as low above the water as possible, giving as much line and grappling hook into the water as possible. So
sure,
give that a try.
Okay.
Natural 20. That's dumb.
You get this time. You get the gotcha claw lined up perfect.
Yep.
Why do I imagine that the controls are like one of those machines, one of those claw machines at the arcade?
That's exactly it. Yep. All right.
Yep. All right. Rek Mara.
Yeah, we're gonna still hold this turn.
Okay.
I don't want to cast Maelstrom and then, send them with them into a giant little, whirlpool.
Okay.
She'd have some words for you if she got out of that.
If she survived it, that is.
Right. Gonna reanimate her body.
Okay. So that brings us to creature number 1. And Narita, unfortunately, it has seen you, and it is going to attack.
But why, though?
But luckily for you, it's got real bad aim. And it only rolls a 10. So it tries again. And this time it's got even worse aim because there's all those corpses in the way. Which brings us to lastness.
The one that spotted her, I'd like to take a shot at, please.
Okay.
Oh, I nattied. I got a natural 20.
Excellent. Roll me some damage.
It's been a minute. It's 20 d10, right?
Yes, what you said.
I actually don't have that many d20s. I need to work on that. Well, 20 d10. I did it online. I hope that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
I totaled to 120 points of damage.
Holy crap.
What is that?
It's an orbital cannon.
Oh, that's right. Do we all die then?
Okay. No.
There is a possibility. I mean, I am in a shuttle flying above it.
So that's a dex save.
Yes.
I assume you are aiming to avoid the actual corpse pile.
Yeah, I'm shooting to hit that one if at all possible, without killing Narita or ultra killing the corpses.
Okay.
Or ultra killing the ship hovering above us.
What's the radius on that?
My
It's
God.
15 feet.
15 feet.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So you're basically shooting at the cliff and trying to catch the creatures in the edge of it.
How they do?
You're probably not going to hit the one that's attacking Narita because you'll have to avoid the shuttle as well.
Okay. That's fair.
But you can get the other two.
Sure, let's go with that. I'm good with that.
So one of them saves and one of them fails. So one of them is dead and the other one is super
Also
dead.
I was like, how could anything possibly survive that?
I want her to say, dang, I missed.
Like, one's just kind of dead, the other one's completely obliterated from existence.
They're really most sincerely dead.
You know you don't get extra points for overkill, right?
She gets
No.
style points. Style points.
Style points, yes.
And Fritz is on the comm saying, I hope you meant to do that.
That direction, yes.
It's like,
Yeah,
Narita,
no,
you're-
I'm out of here as soon as I can. And literally, like next turn, Fritz is getting the shuttle out of there because Fritz does not trust Lasness with an orbital cannon.
Oh my god.
It's okay, the station master trusted her with it.
Oh my god.
the station master embraces chaos.
What have we done? What have we done?
Okay. So now you have 2 less aberrations to deal with, and it is Narita's turn.
If so, there's the one aberration still in the water, but
Yeah.
Would
And
it be
Fritz has lowered the grappling hook,
Yeah.
so it's right above the net.
so I can just hook the net. Call
Yeah.
on the. It's hooking in the net and calling on the comms 2 different actions.
No, talking you can do anytime.
All right, great. So Narita's just gonna go for it. We're gonna take the risk here and hook the net, and then call Fritz. We're hooked. We're ready. And then she's gonna hang on
You're gonna ride the rope up.
like a little barnacle, just clinging on.
All right, super. So Narita gets the hook attached to the rope, grabs on, and that brings us back around to Cole for round 3.
Okay. Well, having seen what just happened, I'm just like, crap. Seeing that there is
Last
one of
doesn't mess around.
yeah, seeing that there's one of these creatures that
It's like, save some of that for tonight. Jesus.
I know, right?
I have 5 more charges of this.
Oh boy. Seeing that now one of these creatures is directly trying to attack Narita, I'm going to just shoot at it, at the one that's attacking her. I feel as though we may have to change the latter half of the plan now, since there's only going to be one of these crab creatures left after this, possibly. But we'll see. Well, this one might survive. Who knows?
That attack roll.
That is time to hold it off. Okay, so I get multiple attacks, as I recall at this point. Trying to remember all the things and how they work. Yes. Extra attack is at that level. Okay, yeah. All right, so I guess this is the... That's right, I have things. I have things that I do along with my various other things. So I'm just, I'm shooting with, just aiming Vantha now just at this crab creature, and it's like, okay, here we go. So first shot is going to be a 20 total.
Okay. That's a hit.
This is delightful because I rolled a 10 on the die. This is glorious. Did I get it by? Well, like the prerequisite, did I get it by more than 5?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. Oh, really?
No, actually, its armor class is 16, so that's just 4 more.
Well, you know what I just saw is that I would have had an well, too late now, but I would have had advantage on those intimidation checks. I just realized because I have Final Frontier. Damn it! Oh well, never mind. I forgot we leveled up so many times. Okay, so this will yeah, it's just a regular shot then, unless I decide I'm overcharging right now, which not trying to kill it necessarily. More, I'm just trying to get its attention. I think so. Yes, 2d6. Here we go. To go back and see what the different things I have. Okay. So first shot is going to be 4 damage.
Okay.
Which is not huge. Second shot is going to be a 21. Which I guess that is gonna hit
that
by.
will bump it up to +5 over its
5,
AC.
So I think I get another die of damage. Assuming that's how this works, because I haven't read it in months. But here we go. Not much more. A total of 5 damage on that one.
You know. Okay. Right. So it takes some damage.
Yeah.
And you have its attention.
Excellent. Great.
And yes, is there anything else you'd like to do? You want to move? You want to parlay?
Parlay.
With the crab creature.
The crab creature with your party members.
I think that
you want to.
I think I'm mostly good. I may want to get into a better position, just in case I need to. If it begins heading this way, I know we're up on the rocks though, so I don't know how well it can get up here. But I'm not going to assume. So, start just moving a little bit back, just moving back slowly, so that there's a little more mountain between myself and this creature, and sort of see if I can find not mountain, rocks between myself and this creature. Try to position myself somewhere a little better.
All right. You brace yourself in a more defensible position, and that brings us to Fritz in the shuttle.
Having felt the tug on the line and the mutter in the comms from Narita, Fritz is gonna. Do you floor it on a shuttle? Do you whatever stick it? Do whatever. Straight up. Rocketing out of the water with a basket full of corpses. And because there wasn't any immediate discussion of anything otherwise, it's like, hey, Cole, I'm just going to take these over to the other side of the island and drop them down by the pier. Was that right?
Yeah, I think we wanted to be able to search them before we put them in the water, so as long as we can have them out somewhere where we can take a look at them.
Okay, I'll drop them on the beach, and then we can, drop them back in the water again if we need to. Does that sound right?
Sounds good.
Okay, dropping them on the beach. Narita, hang on, and I'll try not to squish you on the other side. And Fritz will fly over and do that. So
just a giant 7-foot Nautilus just clinging on.
Mm-hmm. Whee!
Hang on.
Now there is still the one aberration left, but it has fewer options for attack here. Lastness. It is going to attempt to attack you.
Okay.
It rolls a natural 20 with a pincher attack.
Okay.
So that is 2d6 plus 4. Total of 14 points of bludgeoning damage. And you are grappled.
Yes.
And while it has you grappled, it makes a second attack. This time with its face tentacles.
Ew, not on the first grapple.
It's a major faux pas.
And that is a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that hit.
Would you please make a Constitution saving throw?
Sure. Natural 20.
All right.
Whew.
You get the feeling that its tentacles are real nasty. It has not brushed its face in a while. But
Barnacle breath.
it does not affect you.
I've eaten calamari worse for lunch.
Oops. I think I skipped over Rekmara.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, can I use Call Lightning on it? Will this happen before?
Would have happened before it grabbed Lasnus.
Okay. Can I use
So-
Call Lightning on it?
It's coming right at me.
Yeah. If you want. Go for it.
All right. So he's going to cast Call Lightning. He just points his sun staff at the sky and just says, blah, blah, blah. Right down on that point. And, yeah, so that's a spell he casts.
Okay.
It's a save versus Dex.
All
There's a
right.
lot of stuff flying around in the atmosphere,
So-
hitting things in this grotto.
Up in orbit, the that lightning storm on the horizon has just whoosh,
Thank you.
like time lapse, surged over the island. And what is your DC?
My DC is 17.
Okay. It rolls an 18. Does it still take half damage?
Yes.
Okay.
But since we used the existing thunderclouds, it's doing 4d10 instead of 3d10.
Yeah. I mean, I figured I said they were there. We might as well use them.
This random number generator rolled 4 3s. So,
It takes
so-
6 points of lightning damage.
6 points of damage. This simulator sucks.
Don't you have enough regular dice?
They're all in cases, protected from cats and
That's fair.
clumsy.
Okay. But it does take some damage. And then it attacks Lasnus. And then it's Lasnus's turn.
Okay. I think I'm just gonna work on trying to grapple this thing off of me.
Okay. If you would like to break out of its grapple, you can make a strength check.
Okay. Flex.
Wow, I can do this every turn for 10 minutes? The spell's
I got a 15.
Okay. All right. I will roll to see if it can hold on to you. That's a 16, so it just manages to keep hold of you.
Slippery little sucker, isn't it?
Yeah. Narita.
She's
You're
blown away.
we're currently kind of busy.
in the air. Is there anything you would like to do while you were soaring through the air?
Enjoy the view.
That's right.
Hold on to your life.
Taking a nice view of the island, enjoying herself. It's lovely.
Yeah, enjoy that lovely thunderstorm that has suddenly rolled in. Would you make a strength check?
It's not good. This is 6.
Fall off on the greenhouse.
Okay, so we'll come back around to Cole.
Hi. How's it going? How bad is it to shoot at someone who is currently? Did Lasness make it out of the grapple? Is Lasness still?
No, she's still grappled.
Is it bad to shoot at people who are in a grapple? I forget.
I mean, if you're using the plasma launcher, it would be bad, but you're using Vantha, who is a repeater, so you can aim a little more precisely.
Yeah, I think we'll probably keep using Vantha. Then that's probably the best for the best. So
I mean, it's no orbital space.
Also, if you actually shoot at Lasness, Vantha will just nope.
That's good. That's a good fail-safe. That'll help. So yes, definitely continue shooting at this thing. I'm just like, and so first shot is so. Remember when we talked about possible bad things that can? I rolled a 1 on the die. Which is an 11, but that's what happened there.
Okay, so. Here's what that looks like. As you squeeze the trigger and the creature sort of like tries to use Lasness as a meat shield, Vantha just powers down for a second.
Okay. Is it possible to get off the second shot, or is Vantha not firing?
No, she just when Lasness is in the crosshairs, you pull the trigger and nothing happens. So if you would like to adjust your aim for the second shot.
Okay. We will do that. All right. Let's try that.
That was a great grip.
So this die has just rolled a second 1. So this random number generator has rolled 2 1s in a row.
Vantha's going to give you quite the scolding here very shortly.
Have you been practicing?
You would think. Still getting used to a new gun.
Yeah, maybe you're getting a little bit of attitude from her. She's like, I'm bored.
She's like, what are you doing? We're probably arguing. That's the thing. We're probably arguing in my head right now. It's like, what are you doing? Wait, no, how's this work? Feeling this is way off.
Vantha has heard tales of you nearly shooting us in the past, and she's like, not today. Not today.
We're going to have to work on working together when we start aiming.
Are you using an 8 count? Why?
We don't have that much time. We don't have 8 seconds. We have 6 seconds at most. Why I think it's 6 seconds, I have no idea, but that's apparently the number.
That brings us around to Fritz and Shuttle. And
Yep.
your goal is
So-
just to lower down the net full of Narita and dead
Yeah.
people.
Yep. And lower it and then stay hovered long enough to like hopefully be able to tell. It's like, Narita, tell me when you get the net unhooked. Narita? Narita. Making sure I didn't like squash her in the process.
Yeah. So we'll count this as the movement. So Fritz lowers
And I mean, that's
the
holding
thing,
the other
touches
action,
down.
yeah.
So Narita, you can climb down and unhook it.
Okay.
Yeah.
She'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Although your turn is at the end of the round, so.
Yeah. But we know that that's what the exchange is going to be, so.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that brings us to Rek Mara and the lightning storm.
Yeah. He's going to call down another lightning bolt, but he'll position it 5 feet behind the aberration.
Okay. Lasness, you kind of feel the hairs rise on the back of your neck as the lightning comes down. Like the aberration's got you in its front claws, and the lightning comes down behind it. So it's real close. And it's what's the phrase? Incredibly, extremely loud and incredibly close. Yeah. So let's see if it can avoid. Well, no, it rolls a nat 1 while it's got you grappled, and it will take the full damage this time.
Nice.
Okay, this is a little bit better. So we got four fives. So 20 points of damage.
Right. It takes all 20 points of damage this time. And that will bring us to its turn. So it attempts to use its tentacles on you again. That would be a Constitution saving throw from you.
Yep.
No tentacles without consent.
Too true. 18.
That is a success, and once again, you avoid its tentacles.
Great.
And it's your turn.
Since I have this thing on me, it says that I can manifest a weapon with it, a hard light weapon.
Mhm.
I was wondering if I could make a dagger and stab it, or would that be not enough time since I'm still grappled within it?
You can make a dagger and stab it if you want, or if you would just like to try to break out and make a run for it, you could do that. It's up to you.
Lastness doesn't run.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to give that a try, please.
Okay.
15?
Just misses.
It was such a pretty dagger, too.
Is it bad that I kind of wanted a 1 here just for the impression of watching Lasness stab herself in the face?
Next fight, I'm sure.
Yeah, as it is, your beautiful hard light dagger just kind of glances off its chitinous exterior, and that brings us to Narita. So you can go ahead and unhook that net.
Yep, we're unhooked and safely away from combat and on the ground. And so we're just gonna start searching the bodies, I guess.
All right. They do not appear to have been carrying anything of value. Most of them are in their pajamas.
They were all drunk last night. All right. And she calls over the comms. Nothing on the bodies. We should move them.
And that'll bring us back to Cole.
You hear blaster fire probably in response. Well, it depends if I can actually shoot at this thing or not. Remind me. Is there still grappling happening, or is
there is still grappling happening?
Okay, let's try.
I
Okay,
tried to stabby instead of grabby.
Say that 5 times fast. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Trying again to shoot at this thing. This time I got an 18.
Okay, that's a hit.
That is good. Okay, and we'll take 2 of these, and we'll try to roll them in a way that they do not end up in my lap. There we go. 6 damage for that first shot. I'm going to take a second shot. That is going to be a 26.
Okay, that hits and surpasses.
All right, with that third die, that that is another 11 damage.
Okay. You are chipping away at this creature. It's starting to look unpleasant, unhappy. It already looks unpleasant, but now it looks unhappy. Unwell. And Fritz, with the shuttle, anything else you'd like to do?
On the comms. So if the bodies are clear, are we dumping them in the water?
I feel like we should probably do something to them first so that they can't get up.
What are you thinking? And you want to come do it? Because I don't.
He's
Absolutely
a
can
little
do it.
busy.
We better get unbusy.
Yeah, just
I'm
give
the
us a little
cleric.
time, would you?
All right, I'm just going to land the shuttle on the beach then. And Fritz will just land, like, back up the beach a little ways over.
Yeah, there's
maybe more toward
room.
the tower where it's flat.
Okay. All right. Rek Mara, you're next.
Yeah, we're just going to keep calling down lightning until this thing is dead.
Yeah, we are.
Well, I cast another spell and I can just keep doing this for the next 10 minutes. It's cost effective.
All right.
The animation studio is going to recycle this over and over again. Look at all that savings.
Mm-hmm. That's a 14 on its dex save, so it'll take full damage again.
Okay. Okay, we got 26 here.
How do you want to do this?
Maybe as it's raising one of its pincers right up into the sky, it serves like a lightning rod, and it just pulls into that pincer, and then you just see this blue lightning coursing all over it, as if it was the Emperor who was shocking Luke over and over again. Maybe Rek Mara's got his hands out like this, looking a little intense this time.
Can we get a little evil laughter in there too? That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know. He's too busy vibrating his hands out there.
Okay. And so you fry this craboration,
Beautiful.
and it drops Lasnus and falls back into the water dead. And we are out of combat.
Just for kicks, though, Ragnarok calls down several more thunderbolts into the water, just to let it all out.
Just to be sure.
I have a feeling there's like this moment where it's like, I'm like, I wonder if I should, I wonder if there are any more nets around here. I should probably go and get my, and then the last lightning bolt crashes down and shatters the lightning bottle in there. Like, never mind.
Like, Narita's just watching the storm going,
It's weird. Lightning has struck the same spot 5 times in a row now.
Yeah.
this seems highly unnatural. Highly unnatural.
Screw these 5 fish in particular. Awesome.
Well then, that was a good warm-up for tonight.
Hey, Unum, yeah, him to
Yes,
scan
Paul?
out. Yeah, what are these things called that we just slaughtered?
I believe those are called Chul.
Great, good. That's good to know. Can add that to the list. Sort of stare, just sort of shake my head. Are there any more around, or did we get the last ones that were around this island? Do we think?
I do not detect any in your immediate vicinity.
All right, we'll have to figure out what to do with all those bodies then. Okay.
Yeah, what do we do with the bodies? All that, just kill them.
So, as you attempt to figure out what to do with the corpses and continue making preparations for the evening, and the skies have darkened with an unnatural or perhaps supernaturally enhanced thunderstorm, you hear a rush, almost like waves or a waterfall, and about the time you look out over the ocean to see what that sound might be, Unum also alerts you to the fact that she has detected a ship rising from beneath the water. And that's where we're going to close our episode.
Ah!
I said I wasn't going to end on too big of a cliffhanger because I think we have to take next week off again, but I lied.
As
soon as you said it, I was like, there's no way that that's going to be how it is.
You know me too well.
That's okay.
There it is. There it is. I did wonder if they were going to walk up out of the water, if they were going to use a ship, and it appears they're using a ship.
Yep.
Okay, well, there we are. That was a lot of fun. And harrowing, and just a lot of us getting in our own way, which was hysterical. So that was great. We're gonna go ahead then and go around and do our outros, whereby we shall give our any final thoughts about the episode, favorite moments, what have you, and where folks can find you. I think we'll go ahead and start once again with Alyssa.
Hey everybody, my name is Alyssa, aka Origami Shuriken, and I have been your station master. Thank you all for tuning in, and thank you once again for playing. I just love me a good cliffhanger, and I promised you an owl, so you got it. So I am just looking forward to when we come back and have maybe some pirate ship combat. Maybe. Yeah.
Yes. Of course, this would be much more fun if we fun. Well, fun is the wrong word, but probably much less harrowing if we were in our ship to fight the other ship. We'll have to see how that goes. But very cool, very cool. Let us head. Let's see. Did you have anything else? Did you have anything else you want to plug?
I don't. Let's see. I just finished the spin-off campaign, Fate of Saltmaw, that wrapped up on Tuesday. The VODs are available on my Twitch channel at Origami Shuriken or my YouTube. Links are in my Twitter, so check it out. We had the detective agency was present when a mystery was solved, and Cole, somebody may have tried to move in on your girl.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch those now because I caught some of it, but I need to catch the rest of it. That's them's fighting words. By which I mean she could easily probably clobber whoever it was. I think I have an idea who it was, but because I've seen one episode, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Very cool. Was there anything else you had?
Nope, that's it.
Very cool.
Good for now.
And now let's move over to Mem.
Hey, I'm Mem. Favorite moment. Favorite moment tonight. Probably realizing slowly that Lasness was about to mess it up. It took me a second, and I was just like, what's happening right now? Then I was like, oh no, bad things are what's happening. It's like, there's nothing you can do to stop this. It's just like, we'll just let it happen. I like that, you know. Narita had her one little taste of recklessness, right? And then Lasness came, just like almost literally blew her out of the water. So it's fun twist. You can find me here, and maybe next month you'll find me somewhere else. We'll see. There may be a little bit of a scheduling conflict, so maybe not. But happy to be here. Have fun as always. Thanks, everybody.
Yay! And now over to May.
Hi, everybody. My name is May. I wish you all a great, superb owl evening. I hope your sports ball is great. I had so much fun today. Thank you for letting Lastness be Lastness. But really, thank you in particular, dear Station Master, for giving me a winged legendary gift. This is going to be wondrous.
You're welcome.
I can't wait to play again. I'm really looking forward to it. And thanks, everybody.
Cool. And over to Cazimi.
Hey, everybody. I'm Cazimi. It was so much fun to watch everybody come up with different ways of calling death from the skies. We have lots of options of nuking things from orbit now, which is great. But I have to say, my favorite phrase, and if I were naming episodes, I would name this episode Peacefully Swim to the Corpses, which was probably my favorite phrase of the entire evening. Because it's so calm, and we're not.
You might be the only person who heard me say it.
Yes. I loved it. It was awesome. So next time, as we watch the zombie pirate ship peacefully swim to us, who knows what we're going to be in for. But it's great. Enjoyed it. Waiting to see how many more ways we can try to call down, crazy things on our own heads and hopefully on our enemies as well. Yeah, we'll see what happens next time.
Excellent, excellent. And finally, over to Anino.
How's it going, everyone? My name's Anino. You can find me on Twitter at Anino Gaming. Kind of didn't like wasting all those spell slots today, but what are we going to do? We had to help people, I guess.
There's the company slogan.
Anyway, you can find me on Twitter at Anino Gaming. Not sure what my stream schedule is looking like this week. We got a lot of work to do and some computers that we need to tweak a little bit. So just stay tuned on Twitter and we'll take care of it.
Excellent, excellent. Well, this has been it's great getting back when we get to do this. Whenever real life is not throwing boulders at us, but it does that. So this happens. It being in the strange gulf of 2020 to 2021, I'm just amazed we're all still upright. So I'm very thankful for that. I think my favorite moment throughout this, I'm gonna call out the magical transformation that Lasnus underwent. That was glorious to behold. I think once again, as we're at this point in the outros, I shall bow my head in thanks to once again to Jade Nebula for procuring the self images that we have here. Once again, I'm Jim Ryan. You can find me at OtherDoc on both Twitch and Twitter. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such there. And I've got links down below to various media, including the YouTube channel, which is actually pretty much up to date at this point. And so folks can feel free to go there and check stuff out if they don't want to bother with chat or reading the chat log. Just very, very glad folks could join us on the Feast of the Superb Owl. Stuff that I have happening, I am, appearing still in the Tabletop Garden podcast. They just announced the new campaign that we just finished recording that will be coming out soon, for whatever given value of soon that is, and that is a game based around the Great Molasses Flood that happened in Boston in 1919. It is a game with mild science fiction elements disguised as a historical game, and that we played, and we used the Rosette Diceless system that folks may recall from other things that I've done on this channel with it before. When I say other things I've done with it on this channel, I'm remembering that there's only been two sessions of it was a very, very short 2-session campaign that Melissa came and ran. Melissa is in that, as well as myself and Lucy and Greg, from various points on that folks may remember from one shots and what have you. So very much looking forward to that. In that I play a fireman. And I tried to get as close to a Massachusetts, Boston area accent as I could, and probably failed miserably, but I got to listen to a lot of car talk, so it was nice. There's that. Let's see. This show will be back in 2 weeks, hopefully, roughly, real life permitting. In the meantime, on Tuesday early evenings, we have now on this channel Urban Shadows, a little small campaign that I am running, a short campaign. We have just gotten, I had our first RP session last Tuesday, and we're going to be going at it again this Tuesday. And we have some very interesting characters, and they're slowly figuring things out. It takes place in present day Rome. So it's interesting to see, sort of shifting things around with urban fantasy in that location. A lot of very, very old and significant locations in the city of Rome. So it's nice to see sort of how the supernatural interacts with it. And so that happens Tuesday evenings. And then, like I said here, we'll be back in a couple of weeks for this, hopefully. That's it for right now, and let's see. In the meantime, I should have been looking over there, but I have not been looking over there until this moment, so I'm going to say let's I think we're going to go ahead and send a raid over to somebody. There are a couple of people that I know that are doing things at the moment, so we will probably... a couple of folks are doing things. Happy Capster is doing stuff. The Opera Geek is on. Kobold Press is doing stuff. So we'll probably go over to one of them and say hi. So if you're so inclined, feel free to hang on and say hi to them with us. That, again, will be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we will catch you next time. Farewell.